And welcome back, adventurers, to another episode of Let's Play Blackwell Unbound. In the last episode, Joey really wasn't getting anywhere with the ghost haunting the construction site on 53rd Street. So instead he decided to check out the foreman's trailer and found out about who the construction retail company was that tore down the apartment there and attempted to put something up in its place but failed. That group was called Seagram Realty, and they had a letter sent to them by another person by the name of Mrs. Harriet Sherman, who was demanding that they send her the $60 that she claimed was being fleeced from her, an amount that by absolute sheer coincidence just happened to be the same amount of money in Lauren's rainy day fund. So Lauren, with a bitter heart, pretty much pretended to be a Seagram Realty representative, brought the money over to her, and learned more about the construction site, and more specifically the identity of the ghost in question when she was alive, a woman by the name of Mavis Wilcox. But curiously, Mavis also received a letter of her own from none other than New Yorker reporter Joseph Mitchell. How does he fit into all this? I wonder. Let's try looking up Mavis Wilcox in the phone book. It's probably a nonsensical thing, given her apartment's been razed to the ground.
There isn't a listing.
Dead people usually aren't listed in the phone book, dear. Just the obituary.
We're going to have to try and find another lead. But first and foremost...
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Back to 53rd Street. To get some insight into Mavis. Alright, Joey.
I'm going in again. You know what to do.
Yeah, I'll wait here.
Try and make this a home run.
Trying to get rid of me, will they?
They already did.
Hey, kid! Knock on the gate again.
My, I'm popular today. Oh, you again.
Well,
I'd like to ask...
Look, I'm not who.
I do have the photo, so it's a shame we can't actually ask her who she is.
It's me, your husband. I've come back.
John? John, is that really you?
In the flesh.
No. John Durkin is dead.
John Durkin.
Dead. You can't be him. You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them? Who is them?
I told you all before, I am not leaving. The only way you can drag me out of here is as a corpse. Goodbye. My home.
Interesting. So Mavis's husband was John Durkin.
Trying to get rid
Different
of me,
last name there. So perhaps they
I'd
divorced.
like to see them try.
But John Durkin, much
I'd
like
to
Mavis
see them
here,
try.
is also dead.
Hey, kid!
My. Oh.
It's a bit of a long shot,
I'd
but
like
we
to
could,
ask you something.
Look, I'm not going. Who are you?
could pretend to be Mavis's son, who is probably the boy in the photograph.
It's me, your son.
Sam?
Yep, that's me.
Sam! It's been so long. Look at you.
Yeah, look at me.
Sorry, I was so rude. I almost didn't recognize you. Come on in, Sam. I'll make you dinner.
No, I can only stay for a minute. I have some questions I need to ask you.
Of course, Sam.
So the boy's name is Sam. Interesting. And also, Mavis's demeanor completely changed when Sam was mentioned. So, hmm.
So, Mom, how's it going?
Oh, you know me, Sam. It's tough living here on my own, but I get by.
Yeah, I can see that.
That was a bit nonchalant there.
Listen, Mom, I need you to think very carefully. What's the last thing you remember?
What do you mean? Answering the door and seeing you, of course.
And before that?
Nothing. You know nobody comes here. Except for the grocer sometimes. And that...
That who?
nobody.
That was rather sudden there. Now, we didn't see anyone else in the photo, but we'll ask about siblings
So,
anyway.
Mom, how are my brothers and or sisters?
That's not funny, Sam. You know you're an only child.
Right, just checking.
A little bit of Joey Malone humor there.
How's Dad, Mom?
Oh, Sam. You know that your father is dead? John Durkin died years ago.
Ah, right. Sorry.
We already figured out that much.
Mom, are you sure?
You're so... Look at the door. It says...
That's, D. We can ask more questions, but,
Do you know a guy?
You know...
How
can you...
Slip my mind.
Slip your...
Just...
yeah. Sorry I skipped ahead there, but, I think we're, skirting on thin ice there.
I'm going to go now, Mom. I'll come back to visit you soon.
Don't want
Sure,
to blow
Sam.
Joey's cover
I'll be
just
here.
yet.
They have no right.
So at least,
No
in her
right.
mind, Joey is now
This is
fixed
filthy.
as, Sam Wilcox.
Did I leave
Or
the
is it
gas
Sam
on?
Durkin? I wonder.
They have no right. No right.
Let's go through. And
I'm
Lauren
back.
is smoking a
You're
cigarette.
gone?
Yeah, she's probably going to be smoking a lot more before this evening is over. Learned quite a few bits of details concerning Sam and John Durkin. But, yeah, wasn't long before we would run into a bit of a roadblock with Mavis yet again. But there is the curious connection of Joseph Mitchell. And we can actually still travel to the New Yorker. So let's pay him a visit. Yet again.
Yes. I'm becoming downright popular. Come in, have a seat.
I believe the old adage goes, we gotta stop meeting like this. Fortunately, that's not going to end up anytime soon. Now, we've concluded our business with Isaac Brown, but now we have the matter of Mavis Wilcox. Completely different circumstances from Isaac.
Did you know Mavis Wilcox?
Miss Wilcox. Yes, I remember her. Lived uptown a ways before she died.
How did you know her?
I wanted to write a piece about her, so I met her for a spell. Interesting woman. How did you know her?
I'm looking into her death.
I see.
Yep, still doing those investigations.
So what can you tell me about Mavis? I get the impression she didn't get out much.
That's an understatement. I got in touch with her through a colleague who was covering that demolition. I wondered what made a woman like that tick, so I made an appointment to meet with her.
What was she like?
A very gracious woman. Brought me in, made me a cup of tea, showed me pictures of her family. All in all, it was a pleasant way to spend an afternoon.
Was it now?
What happened to her?
Killed, so they say. Was found choked to death in her own apartment.
Any thoughts on who did it?
Well, they were rumors that the labor union decided to take matters into their own hands, as it were. But I doubt that. The police ruled it was some squatter or drifter or something, and left it at that.
And what do you think?
Me? I have no theory.
A squatter or drifter? Well, The authorities are not wrong on that front.
Why did you want to write about her?
I found her fascinating. She was asked to leave. She was begged to leave. She was even offered lots of money to leave. But she kept refusing. She was too scared. I had to know why.
And what did you discover?
That, Miss Blackwell, is the eternal question. I've spoken to hundreds of people over the years. Most of them were odder than Mavis. It's impossible to decipher the whys and the hows. As time went on, I've contented myself just with the whats.
Interesting.
Anything else you can tell me about Mavis?
I'm afraid I've told you everything.
Let's, before we investigate any further about other people in this matter, let's see that article.
I'd like to read your piece about Mavis.
I'm afraid I no longer have it.
Do you know what issue it was in? I'd like to look it up.
I never published it. I was going to, but then Mavis died and it just seemed wrong somehow. I don't even have the rough copies anymore. I'm sorry.
Interesting. You did the exact same thing that you did with Isaac's information. Again, not that much of a coincidence. But let's inquire about John Durkin.
Do you know anything about John Durkin, Mavis's ex-husband?
Oh yeah, she did talk about him. Broke her heart, she said. I know they divorced very early in the marriage and he died several years later. But I'm afraid I know nothing else.
Nothing about his profession or anything like that? Now let's talk about Sam.
Do you know anything about Sam, Mavis's son?
I'm afraid not. Mavis discussed her son and seemed proud of him, but I don't think they see each other. I've never met the boy myself.
Any other information?
Do you know anything?
I'm afraid I've never...
No.
Anything else?
I'm afraid...
Still nothing. So, not really, press him further.
I think that's all for now.
Alright. You have a good night now.
Same to you, Joseph. Same to you. Let's check our notes there now. Since how do these two tie together?
Mavis Wilcox is Sam's mother. Stands to reason his last name would be Wilcox too.
I wonder about that, however. I really do wonder about that. But, well, we've still got some time to kill. And, there's another little clue there on the photograph. The Columbia University logo on the sweatshirt. So, let's just try writing in Columbia on its own.
Columbia University. Here's the number.
Alright, that was fairly easy. This time Lauren actually knowing what to actually look for. Let's see what I have to say.
Columbia University, operator speaking. How may I direct your call?
Let's, there's only one person we need to talk about.
Can you connect me to Sam Wilcox?
Sorry, there's no Sam Wilcox listed.
No? Are you sure?
He's not in the directory.
Thanks anyway. I thought for sure that would work.
Do you want me to try somebody else?
Thanks anyway. Bye.
Yeah, that didn't work. So there isn't a Sam Wilcox listed at Columbia University. And come to think of it, Sam seemed rather upset in the photo with Mavis. I wonder. Sam Wilcox and John Durkin.
Maybe Sam didn't use his mother's name. He could have used his father's.
Let's try asking about Sam Durkin instead of Sam Wilcox.
Columbia University, operator speaking. How may I direct your call?
I think she's still there.
How about Sam Durkin? Is there a Sam Durkin listed?
Sam Durkin, yes. Hold, please.
It's about time.
Durkin.
Is this Sam?
Yeah? Who's this?
My name is Lauren Blackwell. I was hoping to ask you a few questions about your mother.
Oh. Questions, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll bite. How do you know my mom?
Something tells me that Sam would definitely be suspicious if Lauren tried to pass herself off as a friend or neighbor. Because, like Mavis, Sam would know people. So we'll have to be straightforward but tactful.
I'm investigating her death.
Oh, you're a cop, are you? Because my dad was a cop. I know people. I can check.
No, I'm not a cop.
Didn't think so. Just a concerned citizen, huh?
That's right.
Somehow I don't believe you. Nobody in their right mind would be concerned about my mom.
Whether you believe me or not, it can't hurt to talk to me.
Maybe. Maybe not. But if you knew her, you know what apartment number she was in.
I would?
Sure you would. She never left the damn place. So what was it?
Now this is the vital clue, because there is no physical evidence as to the number on Mavis's apartment door, given the fact that it no longer technically exists. But if you were paying attention to both Mavis and Harriet Sherman, you would actually piece together. We heard from both Mavis and Harriet themselves that Mavis lived on the 3rd floor, and Mavis herself explicitly was insistent that the letter on the front of her apartment door was D. So we'll go with 3D.
Alright, so maybe you did know her.
Thank you.
So what do you want to know about it?
Quite a bit, actually.
What do you know about her death?
It was suicide.
She killed herself?
Not literally, but it was like she chose to die. She had every opportunity to leave. They were gonna pay her and find her a new place and everything. I tried to get her out, but that's my mom. She couldn't be dragged out of that dump by anybody or anything.
Too attached to her home.
Do you know who killed her?
She was killed by some junkie, wasn't she?
So they say.
You think different?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, good luck to you.
Also interestingly, 2 points there. Sam mentioned that his father, John Durkin, was a cop, a police officer as well. And come to think of it, in the Shiver, Rabbi Russell Stone was confronted by a man also known as Detective Durkin, who might very well be Sam. I wonder about that. But we're not here to learn more about Sam, we're here to learn about Mavis and Sam.
How close were you with your mother?
Close. Think of the farthest place you can, and add another 10,000 miles. That's how close we were. Woman wasn't a mother, just crazy on wheels.
Yeah, that photograph certainly showed us something along those lines.
Did Mavis ever leave her apartment?
Never. Not once in the last 15 years.
So she was genuinely a complete and total shut-in.
You don't seem upset by her death.
Upset? Sure, she was my mom. But am I gonna lose sleep? No. She drove my pop out of the house and into an early grave. I once thought I'd follow in his footsteps, but not anymore. The woman didn't go anywhere, never did anything. She was killing me just by existing. Now I feel like I can breathe again. That's the truth.
What was it like living with her?
You kidding? I lived with my pop. After 3 years of marriage, he had enough. Glad he had the sense to take me with him.
And after your father died?
I got by.
You never visited your mother?
Yeah, I visited her on Mother's Day, if that's what you want to know. Even got her a present once.
Really?
Yeah, for all the good it did.
Family ties.
What did you give your mom for Mother's Day?
I don't think that's any of your business, lady. It's been years. Just dust in the ground now.
Bye, Sam. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly learned quite a bit of information there from Mr. Sam Durkin. And that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Blackwell Unbound. And when we return, adventurers, I think we'll actually head back to the New Yorker before speaking to Mavis directly. I think Joseph Mitchell still might have a few things about Sam that we could possibly learn. But as always, adventurers, until next we meet.